Well, hello, welcome to another edition of Vinny's vlog. You join me at the Syndicate with this bruiser. Lovely common, my first fish of the visit. So yeah, it's only about 7 o'clock as well. Started getting liners just as we moved into darkness, and now they're starting to have a go. We'll see what the night brings me. And at the moment, I'm getting it wrong. I don't know where they are. I can't get a liner. I got here yesterday, but to be fair, I hadn't been down here for ages. I did a night about 6 weeks ago, and then the lake closed due to flooding. The water levels are really high around here. The Trent's only a few hundred yards away, to be fair, and like they closed the lake for 6 weeks, and it's been open a couple of weeks now, and the guys have been getting a few. So I was confident. It's mild, it's about 7 degrees today, and I fished up the north end of the lake on that big wind that we had last night. Obviously it's totally calmed down now this morning, but yesterday when I got here there was a good wind blowing down there. I thought it's nailed on. I didn't get a liner, I didn't see a thing, but the lake's calmed off a lot today. As you can tell, there's no wind now, and I've moved down to the south end of the lake into the bowl. I've only been here an hour, but I hadn't seen one. So when you're not in touch with a lake, it makes it harder, doesn't it? Because you just, you know, when you come in regularly, you know who's had bites, where they've had bites from, where you've seen fish, and you know, them pieces of the jigsaw come together. It's almost as though I'm on a blank canvas. That swim I fished last winter, I was doing 10 fish a night out of it in minus conditions. I thought I was nailed on for one. The spots in there seem to be really good for winter bites, but it didn't happen for me last night. So as you can see, I'm light. I'm just sat on the barrow now. I've just put some rods out. The sun's just breaking through the clouds now. So I'm gonna give it a couple of hours here and maybe move on to the point behind me for a couple of hours, just see if I can see one, or just pick up a liner more than anything. Just know that you're in the right spot, because I'm fishing a bit blind at the moment. It's a bit of a struggle this year. I mean, last winter I had probably the best winter I've ever had. This is probably the worst. It's just gone from one end of the spectrum to the other. So last week I fished, we call it Pylon Point, but it's like a central area of the lake in the Big Bowl, purely because I'd seen fish there the previous visit. So I sat up there, did see fish, and I thought, yeah, we might get one tonight, and nothing. I did have liners though, so I didn't have a bite. And as I came home, I came down this end of this is the way out. So I come up the north end of the lake, and there was an angler in one of the back swims up there, and he'd had a stocky. And while I was stood with him, I must have seen 3 or 4 fish show. They were stockies, but it's all I've got to go on. So I've come back this week, and I've come up the north end. And it was dark. It was about 8 o'clock by the time. The roads were really bad, so it was about 8 o'clock when I got down here. But at that time the main road is quiet, so I can hear what's going on. So I'm walking around listening, and I heard 2 fish. I couldn't pinpoint them, but they were definitely up here. So I barrowed my gear around because the track's shut due to the weather we've had. It's just chew. If you drove down here, it'd just all chew up. So the track's closed. So I've barrowed round. I did the night in here, and nothing, not even a liner. Normally when you're on them fish, you know about it. So my guess is, and this is only a guess because I ain't got a lot to go on at the moment, my guess is there's 1 or 2 up here, but somewhere down there there's a big bunch of fish. So the plan is I'm going to put 10 spods out in this swim now. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning now, so I'm going to put 10 spods out in this swim and just kind of leave this as a base camp because I've got another night to go. I'm going to just fish light, just on the barrow, just put my rods, my stalking bag and my unhooking gear, and just barrow down and just see if I can see something. You know, there's like a kilometre of lake to go down, so there's plenty of options. And just maybe I've got a couple of spots where I want to put rods, just see if I can pick up a liner or something just to find them, because there's a lot of fish in this lake now, and there isn't a lot of fish where I am. So clearly I've got to make a move. So I'm just going to load the barrow up with essentials and go for a trek down the lake. Right, so I've barrowed down into the wood swim, which is, I don't know, maybe 300 yards from where I was fishing. So I'm pretty much into the area where I was fishing on my last visit, but on the opposite side of the lake. I did see fish in here, like I say, and I got liners, but I didn't get a bite. So I've just, like I said to you before, just put essentials on the barrow and just had a wander down. I've seen some fizzing in at close range, so I've put rods on that. And I've had liners on those rods, so that I'm pretty confident that that's fish now. If I hadn't got liners, I'd be 50-50, but because I've had liners on it, I'm pretty sure I've got fish there. So just 2 little bags on there. And I've also seen fizzing long, you know, like probably about 110, 120, something like that. So I've literally just put singles on that fizzing. So I think I'm a little bit closer to a bite. You can never tell, but I'm pretty sure that there's fish here. So I'll sit here for a couple of hours, just watch the water, see what happens, and hopefully we can get a January bite. I said there was fish there. I reckon that rod's going to go. Well, them liners turned into a bite. So it just goes to show, you know, just if you're not confident where you are, it's just got a leech on it. Yeah, if you're not confident where you are and the lake's quiet like it is here, it's always worth just having a look about. This is the rods that was on them fizzers where I started to get a couple of liners. Yeah, it's only one of the young uns, one of the stockies, but it's the middle of January. I I think it was early December the last bite I had out of this lake, so it's extremely welcome, and you just don't know what it's with. So we'll get the rod redone and pop it back out, and it's only about 12 o'clock now, so there's plenty of scope for another bite in the afternoon, but we'll get this one back. Right guys, you'll have to excuse the wind noise because it's blowing an absolute hooligan down on the big pit today. And as you've seen from this vlog series, I've certainly not had it my own way down here. But like they've been saying for decades in carp fishing, just stick at it. And there you go. Alright mate. Absolute stunning mid-20 mirror. And this was on the switch, on the cork ball pop-ups, over about 7 spods. The pressure's brilliant, the weather's brilliant, nice warm southwesterly, and I've got on them, finally. Well, I put a bit of bait out just before darkness, maybe 3 or 4 spoms over each rod, and they're still there guys, as you can see. This lovely chunky, I don't know, 16 or 17 pound common. Not the ones we want, but welcome all the same. It's a February fish. So I'm going to get packed up soon, so I'll pop the rod back out for another hour and then I'm going to get myself off. But a 26 and an upper double, that'll do us for February. Right guys, you're just going to have to excuse any wind noise. The weather is hideous down on the big pit today. It's blowing a hooligan and it was belting down with rain and one of the rods has gone, but I'm happy. Look at that, 28 pound 8. End of February, so absolutely made up with this one. And there's a little bit of a gap in the rain, although it's still coming down, but not as heavy as what it was. So I just thought we'll quickly get the camera out while we've got a chance, and there you go, another banger on the Milky Malts.